go. Yeah, sound is good. Visuals are good. Fan is not going to hell. This part is normal. Oh, we have sound effects now. Yeah, because, first of all, I'm going to introduce myself, which I always do. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Shiro. I'm a comic artist, and what I usually do on these streams is I talk a little bit about myself, because it's my show, I do whatever I want. And then, or art news, but lately there's like nothing new about art news. And then we move on to me working on a comic. And right now we are working on A Day at the Zoo. So, did I do anything new this weekend? I did, actually, yesterday. I've been, like, savagely taken by a bug because this week I did a quick playthrough of Off again. I like to replay games, kill me. So, because I had noticed in a video that the instructions for how to play were adapted to the console, because when I first got the remaster on my Switch... Oh, there we go. Hi, Kid Animation 64. Hello, I always like somebody with a lot of enthusiasm. So I went to check on mine, and the French version still has keyboard instructions. Spanish version still has keyboard instructions. Both English versions now have Switch instructions. Good thing I understood how to play the game regardless. But still, it's the little details, you know? You guys worked so hard on redoing the entire soundtrack because of Elias Conrad Coldwood. Keep in mind, I am not shitting on Elias, okay? Like, zero negative shitting on Elias. Now that I know the actual story behind why they had to change the soundtrack, the guy is, like, no problem. Do not shit on the guy. In fact, worship the guy, okay? Basically what happened is that he didn't want his music to be used in the game only because this is not my usual sound. I finally got the new Tomodachi Life. I love it so much. Oh, Bono is here too. Oh my goodness! You guys just kind of woo. You guys sneak in. Last week Bono wasn't here because he was at the beach. So everybody clap for Bono's tan. Lord knows I can't do that. Hey, what is your favorite holiday? Also, hi Shiro, how are you? I'm good. My favorite holiday is Christmas, right up until January 2nd. After that, there's too much fucking snow. I like Christmas because there's happy Christmas music, there's the anticipation of good food, and I like giving gifts more than receiving them, because my family is terrible at picking gifts. I'm kidding! It's a joke! It's a joke! But I do like giving gifts more, and we're the type of family that we just hope that we get a gift, we give it to the other person, and the other person cries. That's the kind of horrible people we are. Like, yes! And I don't have Tomodachi Life yet because I'm Canadian and it's stupid expensive. Like, I see Americans online going, oh yeah, the game is $60. I'm not sure if the game is worth $60. It is $84.99 Canadian right now. Plus tax, it goes up to almost $100, okay? I can't. I'm gonna need a lot more people on my Patreon. Also, I got this royalty mod for Sims 4, and oh my god, I love it so much, dude. I haven't touched The Sims in years. Fun fact, I have the entire collection, except Sims Online, of The Sims 1. It's behind in my closet there. So other than that, so Elias, he didn't want his soundtrack in the remaster because he wanted his music to remain free. A lot of his music was sampled, and he felt uncomfortable allowing the original soundtrack to be on the remaster because his music was sampled, and he wanted his music to remain free for people to download. And if he would have agreed to have the original soundtrack in the game, then Fangamer would have to sell the soundtrack, and he would have had to take the free version down. And he was not comfortable with that. So that's why. So if you guys miss Pepper Steak, it's still available for free for download. It's on my phone right now. You can't download directly from my phone. Right now I'm trying to start drama with the crown princess of one of my worlds, and Don Lothario. Don cheats on the princess with someone, and the princess gets heartbroken, etc. I remember playing Medieval Sims on my phone, and I started as a peasant, ended up as the king. And the game sets up a rival for you, and I seduced my rival, and then I killed him. The Sims, everybody! So all that to say that I did do something artistic yesterday. I do plan to post it publicly Monday, because today was a live stream and yesterday was my day off. I did pre-post it on Patreon if you guys want to see it, like, right now. I have a $1 tier, I mean. And I used Ember Draw, so I take no credit for the animation. It's not a Gen AI app before you guys starts with the pitchfork and the torches. It's just a cute little animation app that gives you lines that are already squiggly, so you can do squiggly art, basically. The drama, oh my god. I uninstalled that app like years ago, not Ember Draw, but the Medieval Sims, because once you're a king, there's literally nothing else to do. I killed the old king because it was actually an evil usurper. And when I told the real king, he was like, you know what? You're the king now. I don't care. I'm a big fan of this no responsibility life, and I'm old, and I'm gonna die soon, and he died, so I became king. Like, you can't even really super decorate the castle. It's very limited, because it's all about the story. And like I said, once you're a king, it's done, so I uninstalled the game. There was nothing left for me to do. But it was fun seducing my rival because he was pissed at me all the time, and I was like, hey. Hey, there we go. Let's go to this. Bro, I've been so obsessed with the Apothecary Diaries lately, and oh my god, I need season 3 already. Oh my god. Literally, I have never watched Apothecary Diaries, but I know exactly what's going on in it, because for the longest time during season 1 and season 2, there were shorts on Facebook. So I know what's going on in Apothecary Diaries. So many shorts that after a while I could piece them up together to make the entire episodes. I didn't even need to go watch the show. Like, dude! Okay, where is my Wristcraft? There we go, my Wristcraft palette. 16 tiles. It is so rare that one of you guys say something and I'm like, yes, I am aware of this! Will I read the light novels? No, because that requires time I do not have, because I spend all my friggin' time working. Because I have to pay bills. By inking Burger Burger. like I have somebody on Discord that sent me a link to a radio drama. From what I'm seeing, is a mix between the Mario universe and the Dragon Ball universe, and it's 42 minutes. I only had the time to listen to 15. At least! Like, I forgot about it for an entire week, and then I was supposed to listen to it yesterday, and then I forgot because I started doing a piece of the batter from Off in Ember Draw, and I really like how it came out. And then I woke up this morning and I was like, I forgot! Yes, lady Yokuyo. I don't know how to pronounce words in Spanish, in Chinese. Become the best Empress ever, as well as the bestest mother ever. And I actually know who you're talking about. Yay! I'm gonna need some black in my inking birding brush. In a bigger size than this. And let's get started while Kira absolutely has a mental breakdown over Apothecary Diaries. As they should, honestly, because like I said, I watched the shorts, the myriad of shorts, and it does look fun. It does look like a fun show. If only for Mao Mao. And I understand her not really wanting to spend time with a father that she believes abandoned her. I mean, relatable content. And I do want to know what's gonna happen now that Jinshi literally bit Mao Mao. The message before the last one didn't send. Well, if there was a link, that's probably why. So now it just looks like I'm losing my mind. You're allowed to lose your mind. You think I don't lose my mind with my fandoms? This is theater! This is acting! Between you and me, okay, I have Dragon Quest XI, and I've played it dozens of times. It's one of the few games that as soon as I beat it, I played a new game, and then I beat it, and I played a new game in the same week. I should say weeks plural, because I was going a whole month, like, playing it, beating it, replaying it, beating it, replaying it, right after I got it for Christmas. And if you think I don't squee in anticipation on my way to Gallopolis, and I am so in a hurry to see Sylvando, like, never mind the Sultan's Palace to continue the story. I am going straight to the circus, back door, just to see Sylvando. And he says, "Hi, you a fan?" Yes! Oh my god, Sylvando for president. So today we are still working on the day at the zoo. We're drawing the alligator, the snapping turtle. After that, it's going to be a giraffe, and after that, we're finally going to go into the ending part. Dude, lately my inner theater kid has been acting up, and I asked one of my friends for the time, and then I said, thank you, 10. I can't remember the time, and now they're clowning on me for it. As they should. As a fellow neurodivergent with no memory, I understand. I write everything down twice. I have it in a to-do list, and depending on the task, it's either in one of my calendars or I got a little Finch app, mostly for my self-care, because I suck at self-care. But it's paying off because my face kinda looks normal. It's got a nice texture now. Because now I put a little cream on in the morning and I put a little night cream on at night. So my face doesn't think it needs to make 3 liters of oil every day. Good afternoon, Shiro. Hi, Coco. Today we are at least finishing this panel. And now I'm making myself my favorite meal, spicy ramen. Lol, yes, my body does hate me for all the spicy shit I give it. Oh my god. I love spice. I adore spicy food. I usually eat my food spicier than my parents. Because you guys think I'm white. Like, technically, biologically, I'm more Native American than white. So technically I should also be lactose intolerant, but nah. But my parents, they're so white, they taste mayo and they were like, ooh, spicy. Ooh. But if I make my meal too spicy because of my age, I will get heartburn. Then I will sit up in the middle of the night. Cocoa Piffs. That's fun-sized Cocoa Puff. Debating if I should get an Eno or not, because Eno does make me feel better when I got heartburn. But at the same time, it's like flavorless 7-Up, and I'm like... So, I gotta weigh my options, is what I'm saying. Is it worth it? Also, yeah, the bling you guys keep hearing, which is not my usual chat sound. Chat actually came back on Streamlabs, so it is no longer a blank spot. Yet somehow I'm a picky eater. Girl, I was raised in spicy. I'm non-binary, thank you. I love spice so much, dude. I also love sweet shit and sour shit. Sweet and sour, I love that. I literally have a bag. of Sour Patch Kids on my desk, and I eat a couple when I work. In between 3 and 5, because once again, I'm 43, so I gotta be careful. Too much and I'm like, my tummy. But here's the thing. With Sour Patch Kids, it's usually very artificial sugars and flavors and stuff like that. By the way, this is the super mix with watermelon slices and cherries. I recommend it. It is delicious. But and I can eat a lot of these, no problem. If you give me gummies with natural flavors, I eat 5 maximum, and I will get the world's most horrible migraine. Like, I can eat real fruit, no problem. I can eat fake plastic gummies, apparently fake flavored gummies, no problem. Gummies made with natural flavors, they will give me a splitting headache. Coco oofs, I hope your arm feels better. Shiro, stop making fun of Bono's typos. You know who else makes a lot of typos? So yeah, I can relate. It's my neck vertebra pinching it. Oh. Freaking vertebra issues. Hope you're gonna be okay. Herniated disc. Ah, no! Anything but that. I'm gonna go for a bit while I make food because I'm not. I'm actually interesting enough that I would distract somebody from cooking. That's nice. I'm not always interesting. You guys know when I start zoning in, to you it's zoning out, and then you just see this for 20 minutes. I understand. I literally use these streams to keep me on track and work on stuff that I'm actually allowed to share. Are my parents home? Yes, they are. Either that or Lily learned to throw something on the floor, because I just heard Lily's little footies. Of course, when I tease you guys, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I tease you guys on stuff that I do myself. So... That was a little pot roast to be. She's in a good mood. And the groomer did find that she had like, you guys know how I have rocks in my gallbladder. She pees rocks now. So we're hoping to change her diet. On my end, it's super easy. Because here's the thing, one of the things that can help prevent calcium P, basically, it would be to her to eat some wet food so she has more liquid in her diet. She hates wet food. We never could get her to eat it. But there's some stuff that we can just take out of her diet that'll help. And like, I'm willing to take stuff out of her diet. It's also going to help her weight loss. Our problem is a little older and has a mustache, and I'll leave it at that. I love this brush. I love this brush. This brush was made for me! This is a birthing brush. And if you guys are on my Discord, there's a link to it in the free channel. I use it on Clip, but I'm pretty sure it's made for Photoshop. See, I told you guys I wasn't interesting all the time. Once I start focusing, I'm gone. I'm gone, baby. I'm trying to do good art for good people. Shiro, are you good people? Oh, not necessarily. Depends if the situation requires me to be a good person or not. Oh my god, a couple of days ago, I was on my way out to go and get my garbage can and my recycle bin, and it was so windy. One of my front door neighbors, their bin had fallen into the ditch, and it was a really deep ditch, and by the time I got there, like, I couldn't even see her. She was so deep in the ditch to retrieve her garbage can. And I was like, I can't let her struggle like that. Cross the road, ask her, do you need any help? And she was like, yes, please. Because, like, it's not just deep, it's really steep. So trying to pull yourself out of that ditch while trying to carry, thankfully, an empty trash can, not easy. So while she carefully walked her way back out, I went ahead and I pulled a garbage can out for her. I say while drawing questionably alive animals. My mother, bless her heart, she calls me from the top floor because I live in the basement. And she's still trying to get me to dress up nice. And she went through her closet and she found some yoga pants. And she asked me to try and wear them because it would look better. So I think of looking better or not, Mother. The thing, it's cold down here. Not like pajamas, because they're loose and they can trap air that keeps me warm. So yoga pants is just gonna make me feel cold while showing off my butt. And therein lies the fallacy. Weavescraft. There we go. You guys are wondering where's the little worm thong on the snapping turtle? It got snapped off. And now we erase what we don't need. Because sometimes it's easier this way. look at it. I missed an entire arm here. Much better. I gotta rechange the chat sound. I'm just not used to that dring. But once again, we gotta think positively. The chat is back on Streamlabs. Was gone for a long while, and yes, Streamlabs support had given me a fix for it, but like I was supposed to mess with some very basic and probably very important files, and I didn't want to risk it. And of course we're gonna stop at 3 o'clock. So here's something I found out recently, and I was wondering about that. They did indeed nerf off for the remaster. Like, I had my doubts because I didn't remember the game being like that easy. And I certainly did not remember Sugar being easy to beat. Like, she was literally the hardest secret boss. And they did, because I simply checked the stats. I just happened to check the stats because I wanted to know how many more moves the batter and the add-ons could learn in the game in general. And in the original version of the game, it took until the batter hit level 43 or 45 before he got his last move. And in the remake, it took until level 23. And literally, the minute the batter hits level 16 in the game, everybody is easy to beat. On my first playthrough, I had to grind until level 16 until I could beat the Pieces boss. I'm not gonna tell you their names because they're like long like the arm and I already forgot. But in this playthrough, when I wanted to check out the newly installed 2018 English version, I had fought enough that I was already level 16 by the time I started hunting down the new secret bosses, and I struggled with none. I died at none of them. Like in my first playthrough, the lion was easy. Source, I think his name is. And the other ones, I died at least once, or with the Pieces boss, I died several times. The Ares boss, I died several times. This playthrough, literally my second actual put an effort in playthrough in English. Everybody was easy. I defeated everybody first try. Well, there you have it for the alligator and the snapping turtle. And with that, I am finally up to the giraffe. I've been looking forward to that one. You guys are not gonna like that one. You know what? I'm gonna put a little bit of red on the rope, if only so we can actually see it. Just that little bit of contrast. Oops, I copied too much. Who Let the Dogs Out? Who remembers this song? I do. the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. Goodness, excuse me. I choked on my woof. You know what would be a good idea right now if I'm starting to choke? So apparently Siri thought I was, while I was choking to death, Siri thought I was talking to it in Spanish. Tradução. No, I think, no, isso não, I think that's Portuguese. And it says that's not a good excuse. And it translated it too. Isso não é uma boa desculpa. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Portuguese. So yeah, apparently it's not a good reason for me to choke to death. That's the importance of staying hydrated. You know, I know how to draw a giraffe, but I'm still going to get a reference. Great, now Bono put the song in my head. How dare you? Ignore the squeaks, that's my keyboard. Now keep in mind here, I'm kind of making fun of the way Looney Tunes used to draw zoos, especially that zoo episode of Pepe Le Pew. Here it's really like just for the aesthetics. You would not store a real giraffe like this in a zoo. At least I would frickin' hope not. Oh my god, Shiro, that's gross. Thank you, thank you. In case you guys haven't noticed, this is a horror story. But if anybody's surprised, why? Oh well, we were speaking of the roast pork to be earlier, and she just got here, so say hello to Lily. She's under the desk. swear, if after all this, YouTube decides to set the archive of this live stream to 4 kids, I am going to be legit so mad. Because this is going to be Elsa Gate all over again. Be honest, would you want your kid to read this book? I mean, a really, really, really young kid? If you let your kid play Grand Theft Auto and you keep an eye on them, then, you know what? You do you. At least you're supervising them. I'm talking to the Karens. I'm laughing because I'm my own boss. You want to talk to my manager? Guess what? Same bitch! I like to think it's pretty clear that this is not for kids, but there's always one. There's always one. How dare you draw this for kids? Surprise, bitch! It's not. Now the comments are going to be divided. There's going to be people that worked in retail, yeah, and people that never worked in retail. I'll take something that never happened for 200, Alex. It's like when I draw a bootleg cookie. Like, I don't believe half the shit that I drew, but I have to because I was there. So I know it happened. The grandma that wanted to buy a Leisure Suit Larry game for her 10-year-old grandson. Because of course it's for kids, it looks like the cartoons. And then thought she was gaming the system when she said, well, it's not for my grandson, it's for me. And I had her buy it under her account, and I wrote a secret note in the account. When we write notes, when we print the receipt, the notes don't show up. So I wrote a secret note in her account. Don't reimburse the game. First of all, it's $14.95, so those games are not reimbursable. That part I didn't say, but I did say don't reimburse the game. She was told it was not for kids. So if she comes back and complains that it's not for kids, she was told. Do not reimburse the game. What is your favorite song that you listened? Depends on my mood. I made a farm in Animal Crossing last night. Because I listen to a lot of different music. So my favorite song will depend on my mood. So it's not that I'm avoiding answering, it's that I have ADHD. And what can be my favorite song one week can completely change the next week. You know, how many stuff is there in Animal Crossing that you can make a farm? I know that you can plant crops and stuff like that. But I'm thinking, Animal, what, do you have like a cow villager that you put in your farm, or... How does that work? New Horizons being also a game that for me is $84.99 before tax. But then again, I was simply not interested in New Horizons because there is so much to do. It just doesn't feel cozy anymore because you got so many responsibilities. I'm here and I was mowing the lawn and figuring out why my weed eater wasn't working right. You were trying to not cut weeds with it? Was that the issue? Did you forget to put the line in? Turns out I had the plate that goes on the head backwards. Whoops. Sent you pics of it. Oh, nice! That's something I'm gonna want to check out after. Oh, well, that happens, Ronald. And I can't help but be reminded of that time my dad had to get creative to build the barn. I bet my dad needed me to, like, the numbers, the dot on the dial of the toaster had worn off from us using it all the time because it was painted, not molded. And then he told me to put down a piece of toast, then wait for it to pop up, and then to measure the piece of toast's darkness compared to the dial to paint where the dot would be approximatively. And, like, I just sat there looking at him like... Or... And then I grabbed the dial and I rotated it down until it stopped. Said, I put the dot there. And he goes, or you could do that. And when I tell the story, he's like, yeah, and she let me explain it the entire time. Yeah, because they still use she, her pronouns on me, so... She let me explain it, and, I keep telling him it's they, them, but, you know... I also went to a dance recital yesterday. They ate then ate at Ground Patty in Riverton. Was it good? That's what people want to know. Yes, it was good. It used to be 6 locations, now it's just Riverton and Oma. Well, speaking of ancient locations, our local pizzeria is moving to where there used to be the Chiron restaurant. They're doing it at the beginning of next month, from what I saw. And honestly, good for them. Because it's true that their old place, not a lot of place for parking. So they're moving closer to the airport, so they're going to have what little airport tourism we get. And they're gonna have a lot more parking to where they are now. Well, I gotta finish the animal before I start back on the cage. Like, the cage is gonna be like pure black, so there's no real point in like putting effort or something. I'm just gonna check something real quick though. Do you have a hoof or do you have a cloven hoof? Cloven hoof, that's what I wanted to know. Once again, I do not recommend storing your giraffe in such an enclosure. I am literally paradising the sort of enclosure you'd find in a Looney Tune cartoon centered around zoos. This is an aesthetic enclosure, and I really hope that they'd never put a giraffe in such a tight space. Hang on, itchy. Okay. You know, weird thing that happened recently, besides me clearly having some psychological problems. Yesterday on YouTube, I fell on a pilot for a Conehead show. A Conehead animated series by Rankin Bass. And I am still debating if it's a real thing or if it was AI generated. I'm saying that because there were a lot of AI artifacts, blurring, they couldn't keep the number of fingers on a character straight, it seemed. And I don't know if it's because it was generated by AI, or if they use an AI cleaner slash upscaler on it to make it more clear for TV. Anyway, it was very strange and very long. The pilot was pretty much the beginning of the movie. The only real difference was that when Primat gave birth to Connie, Connie came out of her cone instead of like in the movie. And Beldar had a mustache for some reason. Probably some copyright reason, like why the real Ghostbusters didn't look like the actors. Adding some grass texture. Well, in this. Oops, wrong color. Very wrong color. Oh my goodness. I finished one comic this week, and I am trying to finish another one in the upcoming week. And I think I'm down to like 5 pages of chemical reaction. So of course, there's going to be a little break after that before we move on to the next episode. Like, there's several reasons why there's a break between episodes of Smack. Well, first of all, I need a break. Secondly, it's also to give time to Gabe to finish putting together the budget for the next episode. And then Hyper Voice Acting needs to voice the episode that just ended, and then that takes a while too. At least as far as I know, nobody got mad at the time it took between episodes, either from me or from Hyper Voice Acting. The only time somebody got mad was when I didn't want to answer a question, and then they tried to rally an army to kill me. Well, if you kill me, you got no more Smack comics, you know that? Because sure, Gabe can hire somebody else to do the art, but it won't have the charm that I put in it. Still disappointed that he won't let me put yo shit in the comic, despite it technically being canon. But I'm happy that he let me put oh shush. Yo shush at least. And that the voice actor for Yoshi actually used it, because when they voice Yoshi, I don't know if they use voice clip from the games or that the voice actor is that good at doing Yoshi. They rarely actually read out the lines we give the Yoshi. Like, you see Yoshi, 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 and then you hear it in the dub, and it goes, wahoo! In Yoshi's voice, like... But then, in the dub version of No Rest from the Wicked, the voice actor actually said, yo, shush. And that made me very happy. You know what? I'm gonna leave the grass that blue, and then I'm going to cut the little sidewalk, quote unquote, area. I forgot his cheeks. Now it's going to take a while because I'm coloring in this giraffe. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Mine was great. Can't complain. I did wreck the Swiffer wet though. I had to, the Wedjet, I had to ask my mom to get me a new one. And she thought I wanted her to buy me a new one, but what I meant was we're trying to save on gas, and I know you guys are driving back home soon, so if you could just pick one up, so when you get home I can reimburse you. The giraffe needs to sue his chiropractor. That giraffe was done dirty. Like to imagine chiropractor tried to fix her a crack and then he just backs away slowly and then books it. Ronald says, mine was largely good, aside from my mom yelling at me for what her stupid Waze app on her iPhone did. Did you program the app? No? Then it's not your problem. No one did say, not your circus, not your monkeys. What kind of Mario fan content do you watch when you're a kid? Good Mario fan content you enjoy currently. When I was a kid, I did not watch Mario fan content. When I was a kid, internet didn't exist. Internet started existing around 1995. I was a kid in the 80s and the early 90s. So the fan content I had access to was the stuff I drew myself. Like, the only Mario thing I watched as a kid was not fan content. It was literally the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. And you know what is hateful? I have DVD sets of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It's only the cartoons. It's not the inserts with Danny Wells and Lou Albano. No inserts. The reason I bought the frickin' DVDs. Do I feel ripped off? Yes! I was looking forward to that. I'm gonna lightly color the leaves red so we can see them a little better. You can see that this is the tongue and not more leaves. And I forgot some spots. Oh, of course I did. This is why it's important to sit back and look it over at least one last time. Now, isn't this cute? No? Yeah. I get it. And I'm not taking it personally. Well, we're down to 15 minutes before the end of the stream. Still got time to prep it, jamais créé. And with that, I'm going to bar off the giraffe because now we are officially in the end game for this comic. Final act. Will I finish it today? No. Will I finish it this week? Maybe. Depends how many panels I decide to put in there. Bono's mind probably... Because... What do you mean there was a time before internet? Like, I do have a modem for my Commodore 64. So, internet did exist. As far as I know, internet existed since the early 70s, late 60s, if not earlier. But it was like government only, or really rich people had it. So it was mainly just to send messages back and forth. But by the time it went mainstream where I live, it was around 1995. And when I got access to it at first, the first thing I did, it was in school. I was in high school, and grade 11 actually. And the first thing I did was, because I couldn't print it yet, I wrote down the GameFAQs existed actually, and I wrote down the guide to the water temple in Ocarina of Time. I was like, oh my god. In my agenda. I keep losing my brush. I think we're good to sneak in a little bit of inking before we finish today's stream. Popcorn. You guys like popcorn? If you don't like popcorn, get off of my stream. No, I'm kidding. Some of you are probably thinking, how can you eat after all that? I mean, rather easily. Like, I will talk about horrible body horror. Or, you know, normal health issues in your 40s and 60s. During meal times, and it doesn't bother me at all. Like, Mom will be like, ew! And I'd be like, well, pass the potatoes. I love chocolate drizzled popcorn. Oh, me too. It's been a while since we had that in town. Yeah, my town is so backwater that I considered chocolate drizzled popcorn a limited time offer. The sad part is I'm serious. So is it just me, or did I draw like the most wholesome 50s dad? Like, he's not just nice for the looks, he's legit nice. He's nice because he wants to be nice, not because what will the neighbors think. Like, it's a special day today, honey. You wanted to go to the zoo. We went to the zoo. You want a treat. You deserve a treat. I'm having one too. And it's not like the kid is exaggerating or anything. You wanted something. Of course, he had trouble deciding, but he was like, well, it's a rare treat. So I'm gonna have some cotton candy because I don't have it often. And would you look at that? It's inked. And it's ready to color next weekend. And we're done for today. I'm just gonna move that up a little bit. There. Ed Benedict would be proud of that one. In case anyone is wondering, he was the man behind Hanna-Barbera's original house style. Oh, thank you, Ronald. That is very flattering. Gonna move it a little bit to that side too. In fact, I'm gonna shrink it just a tad. I just want it to fit inside the I swear to Santa Christ. Bah. There we go. And when that we're done for real. So, extra special, caramel drizzle, rainbow sprinkle, chocolate syrup, thanks to our supporters, Imbibi, Poke, Miss Innovis, Bad at Multiplayers, Blossis, Laura S, Jeff B, Artsy Tanuk, Mario 369, Red Reaper, Noah, Twingle, The Scraggler, and our part-time supporters, Super Dude at 808, Rocket Mouse, and Enlightening, Spirited Dragon, 938. Your continued or part-time support is immensely appreciated. Next live stream is going to be next Sunday. I need a date. Show me my calendar. May 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. A lot of fun drawing. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all, and